Welcome to week 3 of the Fire Sale franchise. So before we start other things, let's get into these contract negotiations. So we have one big player and one backup player that we got to negotiate with. Jason DeMunch, I think we're just going to let his contract run out in all honesty. We'll see if we can pick someone up in the draft. We're going to have a whole bunch of picks. I'm sure we can pick up another outside linebacker. Kevin Pierre-Louis is the highest priority there is on the team. If you look at our cap room this year, $113 million. That's just ridiculous. Obviously, we can offer him anything we want, but he wants $11.8 million total, working out at around $2.2 million a year for 4 years. I'm very, very happy with that. If you'd like to make more money during that time, I'll give you twice as much. Contract length is good. That's what it told me to do. I'm sorry, Kevin. I'd offer you $20 million a year. Well, that was a slight disappointment on the Kevin Pierre-Louis negotiations. I'm not necessarily worried about it. Say he even did decide to test free agency, we'll just offer him more than anybody else would be willing to. We've got a whole bunch of cap room. The guy's staying. But that's it for all those things for now. We can get into this game against the Falcons, who we had mixed results against last year. One time they beat us pretty good, then we managed to beat them to get into the playoffs. Let's see what happens this time with our new defense that is just balling at the moment. So the first time we played the Falcons last year, they were killing us on the outside. They do it again here. That was a slightly bad play from Akeem Davis. And on 3rd and 5, with a chance to stop him, there's a freak play there. Bounces off of one receiver's head. D. Milliner tackles the wrong guy in the confusion. Julio Jones gets the first down. But then on 3rd and 1 here, Joshua Perry doing what he does on the blitz, blows up the play, tackle for a loss, and then here we're switching around a bit, switch the sides, put Gathers on the other side, and it opens up this huge hole. Janovich lays that block on the safety, and Keith Marshall can go all the way for the touchdown, 55 yards on that run. So we go up 7-3, which is a nice start. They run here on 3rd and 5. Devontae Freeman, we managed to tackle him. D. Milliner there on that tackle. So we forced them to punt on 4th and 4. Now, Marquise Goodwin took one to the house last week. He's done it once already this season, and it looks like he's about to do it again. Look at all of that real estate. Absolutely nobody. He's got one guy to beat for speed, beats him easily, goes into the end zone for an 89-yard punt return touchdown. 2 weeks in a row, he's taken a punt back to the house. On 2nd and 2, they go for a play action here. Joshua Perry doesn't bite on the blitz, sacks the quarterback. He's really taking to his new position here as a blitz specialist. Now, look at this coverage. He stood there all day long. No rush, really, that gets to him, but he ends up making a bad throw. But they are now down 2nd and goal, and they do just walk in. Pretty bad coverage there in the flats, but what can you do? That's bound to happen. We're now 14-10. A deep throw there, and that's just terrible. I mean, let's take another look at that play. If there were 2 Rico Gathers on top of each other, they would make that catch, and Rico Gathers is already 6'8". And on 2nd and 10, it's an out to the tight end. Kevin Pierre-Louis in coverage, goes in to make the tackle, but doesn't secure the tackle. He breaks free, and now that doesn't happen very often. That's a Harrison Smith against the Detroit Lions type of deal. And let's look at them both next to each other. There's the pass, there's the completion, and now in for the tackle, but they spin off with the stiff arm and go in for the touchdown. Basically, the exact same play. Maybe not, but 2 very good players missing tackles there. So Kevin Pierre-Louis screws that one up. But look at this from Hackenberg. Rolls out there. Nice getting out of the pressure. He completes the pass to Michael Thomas. It's good to see him completing passes finally. On the next play, another pass there. Could have been slightly more ahead of Coleman, but good enough. Another completion. We don't actually get any points out of that. And now it's the second half, and Freeman finds himself a nice hole. Can go all the way. Akeem Davis here actually was right behind him. Goes to tackle, but just falls short for some reason. Not entirely sure what happened there. And then here again, this is a completely different drive. And again, Freeman runs in. We did nothing on offense. Give them the ball back and allow Freeman to run in. This was a 54-yard field goal from the rookie Thomason there, so he now has a career high. That matches pretty much most kickers in the league with 54. But Kevin Pierre-Louis hasn't let that one mistake get him down. Doesn't bite on the play fake. Gets Matt Ryan there for the sack. So he's got himself a sack as well as a touchdown allowed. But then on a short run here from Freeman, he just dives into Onyemata there. Puts him on the floor. But they get the touchdown there. That's 3 on the ground for Freeman today already. And we're only just now in the 4th quarter, and then Hackenberg throws an interception, and the cornerback takes it in for the touchdown. And that's actually not the only time that happens in this game. We let another one of those go down, 52-17. We actually take Hackenberg out of the game. Aaron Murray is playing now throws a touchdown to Moritz Böhringer. That's both of their first career touchdowns in the NFL. He's back down in the red zone again, throws another touchdown. Maybe not as good, that one for him, but Antoine Wall makes a great catch. Well, I certainly wasn't expecting that before the game started. A complete collapse of the offense. The defense didn't do much better for us. Now, of course, some of those 52 points were defensive touchdowns, 2 of them. Christian Hackenberg in that game was a problem. Now, I'm not saying he is a problem, but he was a problem in that game. 46% completed, 3 interceptions, and all 3 of those interceptions were just horrible missed throws, not thrown where they were supposed to go. Aaron Murray's interception was a bad decision. Christian Hackenberg's interceptions just didn't go near the player they were supposed to go to. Keith Marshall still managed to have a good day despite being behind most of the time, 107 yards and a touchdown. Receiving wise, nobody caught a touchdown until Aaron Murray came in. Mark Mitchell did okay, Brandon Coleman did okay. Mobo had some nice plays there at the end, 1 touchdown for him. And Antoine Wall came in late with that touchdown, a tipped ball he catches. That's what we know him for. Catches in traffic. He's a beast at that, and I'm happy we've got him on the team. He looked good in preseason, and now he's proven it in the season that he can pretty much catch anything if there's a lot of players around him. Defensively, I think we could potentially blame some of the problems here on the fact that Jameson Nickerson was injured. That was just a game injury. I had the decision, I could have put him back in the game, but the re-injury risk was high, and I thought, no chance. We were already doing pretty badly by that point, so it's not like we can blame it exclusively on that, but it certainly didn't help. A sack for Joshua Perry, a sack for Kevin Pierre-Louis. That pressure that we saw in that first game has started to disappear now. 8 sacks in the first game, 2 sacks in the following 2 games, and that was pretty much it from everybody. Just not a good day on defense. We need to improve on that drastically. We've got ourselves a kick return superstar here in Marquise Goodwin. Again, another touchdown, 89 yards on that one. 2 players have regressed. This is partly the reason. I'm going to assume one of them again will be Keith Marshall with that injury problem. The other one, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Christian Hackenberg. It's a reason I took him out. Obviously, as we can see here, there is no injury, therefore Jameson Nickerson is okay. Yeah, so Keith Marshall loses some more attribute points on injury, which is really starting to annoy me. I still don't fully understand it. And no surprise, Christian Hackenberg lost some awareness, but it's also not a problem because what is awareness? So we don't have a quarterback controversy. That I want to put to bed quite quickly. However, if Christian Hackenberg follows up this performance with a similar one, we may just have one, because actually Aaron Murray, although he did throw an interception, played very well when he came in. We struggled to complete all sorts of passes to begin with, and then he completed a whole bunch of nice ones in a row. I'm not necessarily worried about the defense yet. It was one game that went terribly. Have another tech game that went terribly, and maybe we need to start thinking about some things, but I don't think so at this point. It was just a bad game. Jameson Nickerson got injured, although not everybody was playing as well as they could have done anyway, but let's hope next week is better. And now we can scout some college players, and at this point it really is kind of open season on everybody. So this is the way I want to do it. Just look at the first one of every single one for a couple of weeks, do it that way, and then come back and see if there's anything interesting. This year I would be willing to take a quarterback as well. Obviously we won't have the first overall pick. Well, it depends on how bad the people we got picks from do, but I don't think we'll have the first overall pick. So maybe, for example, I think this guy probably will go first overall, so we're not going to be able to get someone like him, but we'll definitely have a look. We'll even look at running backs, because I am starting to get slightly worried here about Keith Marshall's injury continuing to drop. This is a long-term issue that basically drops it and sees him get repeatedly injured all the time. We're obviously going to need a new player there. So we get another chance to negotiate with Kevin Pierre-Louis, which I'll do straight away. He wants more money. We are happy to give him more money. So I'm offering him $2.5 million a year, puts his cap hit at 2.67. Again, not a problem, we've got $112 million in cap room. Hopefully he'll like this, and proving the bonus would go a long way. He wants some money up front. It's starting to annoy me a little bit. I don't like people demanding a lot of me, but I'm not going to pull the Patriots here and say no chance. We've got the money, we like the player, we're going to pay him. So Derek Milner has returned from injury, which is a big deal. So he's a 69 rated strong safety if we play him over there. He obviously is 5'11", 196, maybe slightly undersized for a strong safety you could say, but he's got 74 strength, 74 tackling, and 82 hit power. Just below the actual strong safety Nate Ebner, and all of those are pretty much better than Akeem Davis. And he's got the highest zone coverage out of all of these of 80, and we do like to play cover too. So we now have that rookie pairing at safety that I was so looking forward to start the season. We did struggle quite a lot in the middle of the field, especially against the run last week, and this is something that they did very well. The one game we played them together in this setup, they were both just at the line of scrimmage so quickly. I can't wait to see what they're like in the regular season. Akeem Davis did play quite well though. I think there was a slight drop off between how he plays at strong safety and how he played at free safety. But I think Milner, he played very well there in the preseason. I hope he does in the regular season. So with everything sorted, and again we're going to have to reapproach Kevin Pierre-Lewis's contract, let's get into this game against the Dolphins and see if we can improve from last week. So it's Derek Milner's very first game, and on the first play a pass out to the flats, and it's Milner there for the tackle. Nice play from him. Not that anybody else may have not made that play. And then Scooby Wright here on the blitz, in for the sack. That's not Wright's job, but he can do it okay. And then another sack here from D. Milliner. So the pressure is back. And then here on 3rd and 1, they go for a quarterback option. There were no good options there for him. Kevin Pierre-Lewis gets in for a 3-yard loss. And now we give the ball back to them. But on 3rd and 3 here, another sack again. D. Milliner back in on that one, so was Scooby Wright, so they're both on 1.5 sacks at this point. And here comes Marquise Goodwin. Not again, not a 3rd week in a row, and he's finding space. He gets a block from Pierre-Lewis there, keeps going down the sideline, does get caught, gets taken down, actually gets injured here, goes out for the rest of the game as well. But what a return from Goodwin again. And to say thanks for the field position, we finished that drive with a touchdown to DJ Foster, his first receiving touchdown of the season there, and it was a nice play as well. And now they've got the ball back again, but Kevin Pierre-Lewis absolutely snuffs out that screen, gives Onyemata a chance to get down there. Scooby Wright again got half a sack for that as well, and now Dion Jordan is in on the sack, so the pressure is absolutely back. No doubt about it at this point in the game, and it's only the first half, but then this was a complete mess up. I saw this before the play happened. We were in a bad alignment, a linebacker in man coverage against the wide receiver, and it was Joshua Perry who's not supposed to be in man coverage. I should have taken a timeout, changed the personnel, but I didn't, and that's what happens. And now Kenyon Drake's in the game because of course Marquise Goodwin was injured with that wrist problem, and now he's taking it all the way. He's got blockers in front of him who lay blocks for him, so he keeps going. Now someone is coming up behind him, but can he get into the end zone? And the answer is no. Goes out of bounds at the 3-yard line, but Kenyon Drake filling in for Marquise Goodwin very admirably. And how do we say thanks for the field position? Well, we fumble and turn over possession. And that's not right. So by no stretch of the imagination was that the dream scenario, but it is the end of the second half here, so we just have to stop them getting any more points, and it's damage limitation. We get the ball here in the second half, and this is just an incredible run by Keith Marshall. He finds holes, he makes holes, and he goes all the way there. 75-yard touchdown for Keith Marshall. What an incredible play. Goes through the middle on an outside run, somehow finds a whole bunch of space. Great block from Rico Gathers, and then this happens here. D. Milliner, he's not that slow. That receiver isn't that fast. I don't know what's happening here, but he just gets absolutely away from him, and 60 yards on that touchdown catch for them. So it's turning into a big play day, and Malcolm Mitchell wants in on the action, and he takes a 50-yard pass to the house. So it's another touchdown for us, up 21-17 now, and it's another touchdown over 50 yards. And just like in week 1, the coverage is good, the pass rush is good, and Trey Flowers gets himself a sack here. Everybody's getting in on the quarterback, the pressure's just great, and that was Ekpre Olumu's interception. He drops it there. I think we're going to need to work on his catching there, because he's let a few drop to the ground now. So we're back on offense here all day to look for someone, and he almost overthrows Rico Gathers again. He did that last week for an interception. This time Gathers uses his frame, gets to the ball, and there he throws a nice one to Brandon Coleman. That was perfectly on target, and Coleman can take that all the way for 60 yards on the touchdown. Another touchdown over 50 yards. This is insane. 1st and 10 here, their first play of the drive. Kyler Fackrell almost gets to the quarterback. Kevin Pierre-Lewis does get to the quarterback. David Onyemata does not get to the ball. They keep possession, but it was a good play. And then on this screen, we blew one up earlier. We do not blow this one up at all. A slightly bad angle from Derek Milner there, and then nobody is going to catch him here. We're trying. Nickerson almost gets there with his insane speed, but nobody does. That's their rookie running back there, and he goes in all the way for that huge touchdown catch. And then on the 2-point conversion, hits the receiver in the face, and he makes the catch. So it's now 28-25, just a field goal. And then Keith Marshall, just through the middle of everyone, like 4 guys missed tackles there. I don't know how he took that to the house, but you'll never guess how long it was. Well, it was over 50 yards, a 52-yard touchdown. And the defensive unit known as the pressure is back. Absolutely nothing downfield. So we get the ball back on offense, and now we have a chance to break the streak of throwing incredibly long touchdowns. Instead, Christian Hackenberg thinks about throwing an incredibly long interception. Now, Malcolm Mitchell is not going to let him take that to the house. Does catch up with him, does tackle him, but again, Hackenberg has wildly overthrown one of his receivers. That's been a problem this season, and now 14 seconds left in the game, and Akeem Davis just snatches that out the air, stops that in its tracks, and that's the game over. There we go. I mean, it was a little bit tricky, but they've got some young superstars on this team. Let's take a quick look at the Dolphins. They've got Robbie Snyder, he's an 80 rated quarterback, a rookie, and then they have Derek Rankin, who is another rookie, 79 rated at running back, and has got something like 91 speed. This is about our guys, and our guys did well today. Christian Hagenberg, 247 yards, 3 touchdowns, but again did throw a stupid interception and threw a couple of more passes as well, just in completely wild directions. Keith Marshall just continues to make big plays. To be fair, today was a big play day, but still, he ahead of everybody, 173 yards, 10.8 yards per carry, and 2 touchdowns on the day. Receivings wise, look at these high averages for a bunch of these guys. Malcolm Mitchell, 27.6 yards per catch. Brandon Coleman, 60 yards per catch. Just the one catch, touchdown run. Defensively, Derek Milner in his rookie debut led the team in tackles. Right behind him, the other safety, Darren Stanley. A whole bunch of tackles for a loss, and we brought the pressure again today. Today it all clicked again. 2 sacks for Dion Jordan, 2 sacks for Scooby Wright, 1.5 for D. Milliner, 1 for Trey Flowers, 1 for Kevin Pierre-Louis, and a half a sack for David Onyemata. Akeem Davis got himself that garbage time interception, but still it was a decent play on the ball. It's nice to get some more interceptions as well. We didn't have many of those last year. And Dion Jordan had a forced fumble, and Kevin Pierre-Louis had a forced fumble, and both of those came on sacks. Punt returns, Marquise Goodwin broke one again and then broke his wrist. Maybe didn't break it, but he's certainly injured his wrist. Who knows how long he'll be out for, but then Kenyon Drake stepped in and did a pretty good job as well with a long of a 40-yard return. A huge kickoff return for him as well, 88 yards, tackled at the 3-yard line. I don't know what's different on special teams. Nothing has changed, as in nothing's different in terms of the settings, anything like that. Special teams is just so much better this time. Alright, so 2 players have regressed again. We know what that is. That is Keith Marshall. This is starting to worry me now. The regression has dropped to only 2 points, but obviously this is doing some serious damage to his injury rating. This could affect him long term. And Christian Hagenberg, 2 fumbles. That was unfortunate. One of them he just got absolutely laid out on. The other one was just a classic, trying to throw it, ends up fumbling it. Takes his carrying back down a little bit, but that's no problem either, it's still decent. So my idea is, because we have a bunch of whole 1st and 2nd round picks, I'm going to go for the first thing on all 1st and 2nd round picks. Unlock all of these, then I'll go back down and start doing them in terms of who looks best, and then obviously we'll still have plenty of points available to just do later round players that look good as well. So something I've just seen is that Keith Marshall has won Offensive Player of the Week. This is the 3rd time one of our players has won this, so Keith Marshall gets it for his 16 carries, 173 rush yards, the 10.8 average and 2 touchdowns. Of course, we already knew that, it just happened. But that does it for this episode. Next time we will be hosting the New England Patriots, who are at 2-2 right now. We are at 3-1. We also have 4 contracts to negotiate. I know at least one of those is a lineman that we're not too interested in bringing back. Kevin Pierre-Louis, we're going to offer all the money in the world. He's going to be the highest paid sports personality the world has ever seen. $100 million every time he touches the field. No, but we will give him a good offer. We obviously want to keep him around, and he's not necessarily asking for a lot of money. He's just asking for a little more up front rather than what I've offered, so I'm fine with that. If it was starting to get ridiculous, say he turns this down and says he wants even more, maybe I'll have to start making business decisions, but with over $100 million in cap space, I don't think I have to.